Okay. Tanya Rabbi Yosi bar Rabbi Yehuda Omer. We've learned that Rabbi Yosi bar Yehuda said, Aron shel Eish, Aron, the ark made out of fire, Shulchan shel Eish, and the table that was used in the temple of fire, Menorah, and the Menorah, the candelabra which we described last week at length, shel Eish, a fire, Yordim and Hashemayim, descended from heaven, V'ra Moshe, and Moshe saw it, V'asa kamoisam, and did and copied it. So, in knowing how to build the utensils in the temple, specifically these three, the ark, the menorah, and the table, a fiery version of that descended from heaven, and Moshe copied. Shenemar, as the verse reads, V'ra v'asa ketavnisam, and Moshe saw and did them in their structure, as they are structured, implying that Moshe saw their structure already. Asher tamara bahar, which you saw on the mountain. So it's the same. Moshe saw the structure of the mountain and copied it, and that's what the verse is kind of implying.
So it argues before, so menorah came to the Shemayim. You're saying it's
yes, it's a different opinion. That's right. Earlier we said that only the menorah. That's why I think I mentioned at the end of last week's class. The different versions as to what happened, whether he copied or he saw or it came down. But in this version, these three utensils had a fiery version of them descend from heaven. Moshe copied them. The Gemara says, if that's the case, so anytime the verse says that you copy that which you saw on the mountain, it means that a fiery version of that descended from heaven. El Mayata, if that's the case, the verse says, Mishkan, and you shall erect the tabernacle, the Mishkan, Kemishbatai, in its laws, Asher Heresevar, which you saw on the mountain. Hachanami, here too, perhaps you should say that it descended from heaven, because you're saying that Moshe had to erect the Mishkan as he saw on the mountain, and you are saying that whenever the verse says that he saw it on the mountain, it's a fiery vision. That's what you said with respect to the menorah, the table, and the ark. So why not the same thing with respect to the entirety of the Mishkan? So the Gemara says you're missing one word. Hacha, here, with respect to the actual Mishkan, Ksiv Kimishpata, it says in its laws. So what did Moshe see on the mountain? The laws. Right? Hashem showed him the laws of building it. But Hassam, there, with respect to the menorah, the table, and the ark, it doesn't just say that Moshe saw the laws of how to make them, but he saw the structure. Ksiv K'davnisam. It says he saw their structures, and thus implying that he actually saw it itself. So we'll stop over here. This is another opinion, and God willing, tomorrow we'll develop some more opinions with respect to how exactly Moshe was taught to build the various different items in the temple. And I'm opening the floor to suggestions and trying to understand what this means on a spiritual level. That Hashem is showing Moshe fiery utensils, and why specifically these three, why not the other ones, and what this all means.
Why there's two opinions as to
why they're
the
different
shape of the menorah, right? There's the one that goes like this, right?
Yeah, and that's something to think about also. That's not related directly to our Gemara here. What we should be thinking about is why the menorah. Okay, the menorah clearly seems like they all agree that some vision from heaven. But this opinion says also the ark and the table. And why not the other? Why not the altars, the two altars? Why not the kiyar, the basin, the wash basin? I mean, like, what are unique about these things, and what these things all mean? Perhaps we can come with something tomorrow, God willing.
That's the fourth level of leap.
I guess the fourth level of learning where you're learning after.
Knowing Hashem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those items are in that holy, right? As opposed
to
the wash basin.
Wash basin outside, but there's the
right?
the small altar. The gold altar is also in the inner chamber, in the same chamber as the menorah.
Ah, the gold altar. Okay.
Yeah.
So what? But what's unique about these things? What are unique?
Yeah. There's a connection, by the way.
We might say, just off the cuff, I'm saying we might say that these three were a uniquely positioned to demonstrate the presence of Hashem. The menorah, we said earlier that God doesn't need a light. The light is there for the world to see it. The ark, of course, is where the presence of Hashem actually rested. When Hashem would communicate with Moshe Rabbeinu, divine communication came through the altar, the ark. And we just described earlier that the table with the showbread was used to the pilgrims to show them God's miracle, how it stayed fresh from week to week. So these three items were uniquely positioned, even more perhaps than some of the other items, as being demonstrating Hashem's presence amongst the Jewish people. So perhaps that's why these three but I'm opening the floor to suggestions. All right, have a wonderful day, everybody, and happy Tu B'Shvat.